Welcome. We're back. Not a great day for the trades. I mean, just honestly, I'm never one to lie. I'm not tripping about one bad day when there's been 15 weeks of trades. But this is like probably debatably the worst day for the trades that I can remember, at least for the last, at least since in 2021. Just just tough. It's definitely a combination of a bunch of different things, and we're gonna talk about everything. But yeah, this stream is gonna be a lot more trade coverage. It's gonna be a little bit less of ticker requests and me just talking more in depth on the trades, because when trades are down, it makes more sense to talk about them more, right? I feel like most people only talk about the trades that are up, but when trades are down, I feel like it should be my responsibility to be really going more in depth on them. So I'm gonna try and do that. But yeah, we're gonna be talking about all the trades in depth. And yeah, just like a summary of the day, it's kind of been this thing in the market for like literally the past 4 or 5 days where before the market opened, futures were up pretty nicely, and then in the first few hours of the market being open, it sold off, and then in the afternoon it pretty much rallied. You pretty much got the same thing today. However, that has changed a little bit because instead of futures being up tonight, futures are actually down. And I'm also going to talk about the market. There's something I'm not too what's the word for it? The market looks a little bit bearish based on technicals, but don't freak out. I'm gonna cover it and basically give both sides to the story. But yeah, quick summary: not a good day for the trades. First time I'm saying that I can remember. I don't remember ever saying it like straight up, like just a straight up bad day. But you're looking at the trades right now. TNK hit the target for 32%. That was great. Fisker up 29% since the entry, but those are ongoing trades. X is the one that X was like the top performer from the trades today. It was up like 14% at close. I think it fell like 1% or something after hours, but X had a huge move today. That was the one that really stood out. And then also QS worked if you played it the right way. It opened up and it was down like 8% for most of the day, but then after hours it had like a very big move, like a 10+% move before the earnings. And it was at like $56. And then in the Discord and on Twitter, I said, the trade's up like 18% right now. From here on out, earnings are about to be dropping. I have no clue. There's no way for me to know what's going to be happening with QS. So I literally said in Discord and on Twitter, like, you do you. It's a 50-50 when earnings are on the table. So, they did pull back somewhat after the earnings call. Trade's still heavily up, and it's still up 4% or something after hours. So the trade's still very, very nicely in profit, but yeah, it did fall. It went up. It basically opened. It spent pretty much the whole entire day around $50. Then after hours, QS went to 56, and then it fell back down to like 53.50 or something. We'll talk about it. Any other trades I really want to talk about right now? We're gonna go over every single trade, but I'm just trying to give like a quick summary. Anything else moved? Like the newer trades, they're still pretty flat. Like pretty much these are the new trades right here. GNOG, BBBY, QSR, and DD. Those were the 4 new trades today. 3 of them are literally still at the entry, and then the 4th one is down 1%. What ended up happening is I was a little bit off with my entries, and yeah, I'm frustrated about that. It's not too often that I'm off with the entries. That's one thing I'm actually pretty good at, finding a decent entry. But today, I guess I wasn't tactical enough with the entries. Or on the same hand, pretty much I was putting out the trades, and then probably like half an hour after I put out the trades, the market had a very big flash crash and then rally, like it's been doing for the past 3 or 4 days, right? I tweeted about that earlier. And then the rest of the trades, Clover had a bad day. We're going to talk about that in depth. UWMC pretty much did nothing today, but actually I still like the technicals on UWMC. DGLY was already down, and then SNDL. This is the one that frustrated me the most today. Yeah. It's very similar to the first X trade, not this X trade, which is up 14%. It's very similar to, where was it? Like 2 weeks ago, this one, the one where the trades got stopped out for a 4% loss. Very similar to that, where hours after I posted the trade, they had an offering. There was literally no way for me to possibly know that they would put out an offering hours after I posted the trade. And that's just a situation where the news overrides the technicals. It was a shelf offering, and a lot of people don't really understand what that means. From my understanding, a shelf offering just means the company is basically saying within the next 3 years, they're going to be getting the right to take that offering whenever they want, so they don't have to file it and do all the paperwork. Basically, they're just getting it ahead of time. So then within 3 years, they can execute that. From what I believe, that's what a shelf offering is. And I believe their number was like $1 billion worth. And then, yeah, it fell after hours. I alerted that it was falling when it was only down about 3%. So again, if you're in the Discord, you get those updates live. I have alerts set up. And yeah, just not optimal. No way for me to know that. I'm sorry. It's just I can't predict things like that. It's just, it is what it is. You know, it sucks. I'm in the trade. I'm down. I have options in it. Not happy about it. I had a red day today. It's in the title of the stream. You know, I don't run away from red days. What I want to do is teach you how to recover from that, how to recover from the red days, and that is literally the title of the stream. So with all that being said, that covers like the recap of the trades, but we're going to go look at the charts of every single one of these trades. So we're going to get all of this done. And yeah, let's head on over to the charts. Before I actually talk about the trades, what I want to talk about is the market and the S&P index. So let's head on over to the charts. Make sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and if you want to get any of the new merchandise that dropped yesterday, that's the pinned comment in the chat. If you want to send me a tip, that's the pinned comment in the chat. And let's get to the charting. So we'll come back to this. We're going to come back to all the trades, but let's just start off with the actual market itself. You're at the top of the flag again. It was trying to break out. It could not close at a breakout. Remember, when you're breaking a support or you're breaking a resistance, what matters is not just getting over it. What matters is actually confirming it. Now, there's multiple ways to confirm a breakout. There could be a back test. There could be just a candle close. There could be immediate fall through price action. There's a bunch of different ways to really verify breakout, and you never got a verified breakout on this move. So the S&P literally at the top of the flag. Every single time it's got to the top of the flag, it's fallen in the next few days. So keep that in mind. And then if we're really looking at, what was it, the 4 hour, your price was going up, but your MACD is going down, which is local bearish divergence. And then I believe there's 1 hour, like actual textbook bearish divergence, classic bearish divergence on the 1 hour. It's like inches away from being confirmed. And then we're going to look at the futures for the S&P 500. Let's go on the, I think it was the 4 hour too. You have confirmed bearish divergence on S&P futures. And then if we go to the daily, it rejected the top of the channel. Every single time that it's come up to the top of the channel, you had a fall in the next couple of days. And you're at that point again, and you did not get the breakout. And then also, that's not really a shooting star candle, but it's not a great candle. This one right here, I'm not too happy with how that candle looks. Basically where you got above it, but you couldn't close under it. That just doesn't look like a good candle to me. Kind of shows like indecision. So like if I was looking at this like any other stock, if I'm looking at the S&P 500, which is like the index I choose to use for the market, a lot of people use different things, but you know, the SPX is what I use to get my reads on the market. If I was looking at this like a regular everyday stock, that would be pretty bearish to me. Now remember, this is an index and we're in the greatest bull market in the stock market's history. So, you know, as Mitch Ray would say, bearish patterns tend to underperform in very bullish conditions, and that's what the market is right now. So yes, it is bearish, but there could be good news coming out. There could be some sort of economic report. Anything can change. I'm not calling anything. I'm just literally conveying what the charts are looking like to me. Let me slow down the overlay. It's kind of lagging right now. I'm just gonna put it off for a bit. Like that little light that goes around my screen is just being, you know? But yeah, just keep all this in mind on the market, and that doesn't help. You know, first of all, the trades. It was like the first bad day for the trades in like 15 weeks, like an actual like all around bad day, and literally 15 weeks of me putting out trades. And it's not like there weren't good things. There were things today. Fisker was up 2%, and then this one X was up 12%. Let's go. It's pretty much near the target. But you're not even confirmed on the daily for the hidden bullish divergence. But yeah, we're gonna get to everything, but just keep all of that in mind. It's just technicals. I'm just telling you what the chart is saying. Take that as you want to, and it's all about what happens. Just because you have something bearish or bullish on a chart, that's just a thesis. It can play out or it cannot play out. You have to react, okay? I'm just giving you the probability, and solely based on technicals, the market is looking overbought. And I've literally used this S&P flag to pretty much call like the last 3 or 4 dumps, not dumps, but pullbacks, like days before they happened. And if you've been around here for pretty much the last few weeks, you know that. And it's at that area again, you know, like literally for my sake and for a lot of people in here's sake, I hope the market doesn't fall. But who cares about what I hope? The market will do what the market wants to do. Remember, I put out a tweet last night basically saying trading is a game of chess, right? And I'm about to get into like the whole entire psychology of everything, but trading is a game of chess. It's you against somebody else. And that's like a bunch of different things. Like you have to be fierce, you have to be tactical, you have to be calm. You have to realize that nobody's rooting for you in the market. Everybody's selfish. You have to be selfish in the market to win. So when everybody's selfish, if they're up so much and they're taking profits, you need to be able to react to that, and then vice versa. So there's a bunch of different analogies you can use for the market, yeah, for sure. But just protect yourself always, manage your risk. I have 2 different videos pretty much out on my channel about risk management. If you go to my course, it's pretty much towards the end of the course. Manage your risk, but I'm not telling you to freak out. I'm never going to do that. You're in a crazy good bull market. But let's talk about the trades now. We have 66 people in here. Can we get some more likes on the stream? Can we get to 30 likes real quick? Hit that like button and hit that subscribe button. But yeah, let's talk about Bitcoin, and then we're gonna get into the trades. Bitcoin, you know, wow, it actually just confirmed a MACD crossover. So for the first time since February 10th, which was how many days ago? Pretty much 6 days ago, you're green on the MACD on the 4-hour. So Bitcoin pretty much confirming hidden bullish divergence right now, which implies price continuation to the upside at $50,000, which is crazy. There was like a rising wedge. I kind of just redrew the rising wedge because you broke out, but then you got back in. So it's kind of how I'm looking at the rising wedge right now. Whichever way you break out will be telling. And your MACD is green on Bitcoin. So we'll see what happens. Just react, don't expect or use probability, but react to whatever does happen. And yeah, that just goes over my thoughts on the market and Bitcoin. And before, I know I'm saying I'm going to get into the trades, but basically most of this stream is going to be me talking about the trades. So before I even get into them, let's talk about CCIV. Crazy, right? It's in the thumbnail of the stream right now. Let me see if the overlay will work now. Alright, so via exclusive reports, the merger with Lucid was confirmed today, and CCIV went up 32% pretty much. One thing I found pretty interesting was, the reason CCIV moved literally had nothing to do with technicals. That's not what I'm saying. And a lot of the times, catalysts do move the price, right? But technicals can help you analyze how fast the price will move and how far the price will move, and then where the price can pull back, where the price can bounce off of, right? No, I'm not saying it wasn't. I'm not saying that it was confirmed. I was just saying per exclusive reports, right? That's why I did like the little thing right there. So I'm not a news reporter. I've never said that. I'm just saying why people why people were buying, why I went up like crazy. There were, whatever you want to call it, reports, rumors. Some people say different things. It's not my place. I don't really care what you call it. That was the general idea of pretty much what happened. And so one thing I just wanted to show is I actually hit the 4236 Fibonacci extension, right? If we go from the previous swing high to the swing low, pretty much the same way I use Fibonacci on every single chart. You literally, let me extend it a little bit so you can see it better. Okay, you literally got up to the 4236 Fibonacci extension, the last Fibonacci extension, and that's where it pulled back. So of course it's going crazy. This probably doesn't mean that much at this point because it already happened. But if you did know Fibonacci, you could have realized at least the local top for the day. I'm not saying it can't go higher. It's going crazy because of news, not because of technicals. I'm just Fibonacci education right there. I mean, it works on literally any chart. Like, you can give me the randomest charts. Fibonacci really does work well. Let me look at Dogecoin out of all things. It's already on my watch list, okay? Look at this. Dogecoin bounced off the golden retrace. The 618, look at this. It was kind of like creating this cup and handle. It still kind of is. We have hidden bullish divergence and a cup and handle on Dogecoin. And it fell all the way down to the golden retrace, the Fibonacci, the most common reversal area. And from the golden retrace, literally to the cent, it hit the golden retrace. It went up like 37 or 38% within like 8 hours. So learn your Fibonacci. It's course video number 4 on my free course on my channel, I believe. But yeah, that pretty much covers everything I have to talk about other than the trades. Now I think it's time to get into the trades. And as I introed off the stream, for the first time ever that I can remember, pretty much most of the trades were down today. I'm not here to lie. I'm not here to act like they weren't, because There's no need to panic, and I'm gonna explain why after I go over each and every single trade. I'm pretty much just gonna go through the technicals of every single trade, and then after that I'm gonna talk about like just some education on recovering losses and the psychology of, you know, being not strong-handed but strong-minded. That's probably the better way to put it. So start off with Fisker. Not too much has changed on Fisker. You're right in the middle of a range where your support is $18.21 and then your resistance is $21.55. You're literally in the middle of a range. Currently there's no edge on Fisker for the short term. You're literally halfway in between a support and resistance. So very, very nice move. At one point today, the Fisker trade was literally up 38%. It was almost literally at the target, and then it did pull back, and I think it's up like 30% pretty much. So I put out this trade about 3 weeks ago. It's up 30% right now. It's a long-term trade. Really anywhere in this area could be a profit-taking area if you're in for the short term. Again, I'm not realizing any profits because I'm holding for the long term. But you know, I already had a few options plays off of this move right here, so I'm fine with the short-term profits I made on that. I'm just talking about my long-term position. So you're in the middle of range on Fisker. There's not much to talk about. As long as you're above 18.21 on Fisker, you're fine. That's the level to watch. That's your support. It used to be a resistance right here, and then right here, and now it's your support. Let's talk about Clover next. Do not have the 4-hour classic bullish divergence developing anymore because you were down 5% today. And then on the daily, you don't have any divergence as well. I mean, yes, if you have a good day tomorrow, you're going to have the divergence developing again. But for now, it's paused. That's like the word I'm going to use. The divergence is paused. It's most likely going to happen at some point, but you need some price action to get that going. Except on the 1 hour, it is actually creating some classic bullish divergence. And I believe that's on, it's not like perfect. You don't have the same exact low if you're using this wick. But I'm not really going to use this wick right here. That was like the wick, I believe, from... this might be incorrect, but I believe because it was a very crazy wick. I think it was around the Hindenburg short report. I'm not really going to consider that wick. What I'm going to be considering is like this actual swing low, right? Because it pretty much wicked down there and then it bounced right back up. And then it actually created a low right here. So from this low to the next one, you're kind of showing... I don't mean to do that. Kind of showing triple classic bullish divergence on the 1 hour, which is implying a short-term reversal to the upside. Even if you use this low right here to this one, even from this island to the next one, you're showing classic bullish divergence. So the low time frame, the 1 hour chart, is implying a reversal. Still need the 4 hour and daily to confirm, but that's just like the 1 hour right now. And then even kind of on your RSI, you're showing that. So there is an edge on the 1 hour. And if you're looking at the daily, technically you're kind of still at a support. You know, there is some candle closes from right here. Like if we even go all the way back here, you have some candle closes that you're above. Honestly, as long as you don't fall under this low right here, this wick from right over here, like as long as you're above 1130, technically you're fine. But realistically, this for the trade, this is where you pretty much need the reversal, right? That's why I made my stop loss literally right under this candle wick from right here. My stop loss was down here. I have not touched that. You can go look at the, what's it called? The timestamp. But yeah, you're looking for a reversal literally tomorrow. You do not want to go much lower on Clover. Hopefully the 1 hour divergence can help. Bitcoin is over 50K. Yeah, let's go. Bitcoin back over $50,000. I was literally just showing like what 10 minutes ago how the hidden push divergence confirmed on Bitcoin. Literally you got the MACD crossover and 10 minutes later it's moving. Bitcoin's nice right now. As long as it's really as long as Bitcoin's above 48.2K, you're fine. That's just like your previous resistance. So it's like now your support, you back tested it right here. Not back tested, but you created a support right there. Nice moves on Bitcoin right now. Pretty much $50,100 on Bitcoin. Let's go. But yeah, that's Fisker, that's Clover. Talk about UWMC. It's very hard to call bottoms on trends like this, but UWMC is showing the reversal signals that you look for as a technical analyst, all right? After literally relentlessly dropping down in price, it is finally creating a support, like pretty much right over here, as you see. Bounced off it. If we go on the 1 hour, it's going to be much more clearer. You have a very strong support you're creating at like $8.90. As long as you're above that on UWMC, you're good. And then on the 4 hour, you have classic bullish divergence that is literally confirmed. You got the MACD crossover. And then on the daily, you're also showing like local divergence as well. And you're at the PCZ of the bullish crab. As long as you're above 890, I think it's pretty easy to manage your risk right here on UWMC. And the technicals look good. It was pretty much a flat day. Nothing's really changed on my thesis on that, unless the support level does break. Bitcoin is now $50,200. Awesome. And what's not awesome is SNDL. So basically the idea behind the trade was it had a crazy dump. Actually, if you were in the stream like last week, the night before it went to $4, I literally showed the resistance in this area. If we go on like the daily, I guess, you can see up here, you can see $4 pretty much was your resistance, like right here on this candle high, on this candle high, and on this candle high. That's the reason it was your high right there. And it dumped after hitting that resistance like the next day. It literally dumped, and then finally on the 1 hour it showed an edge. Technicals looked good. It was creating a support line. It broke over the VWAP, and you were showing RSI divergence on the MACD and the RSI. The technicals looked good, but then the offering happened, and news always overrides technicals. And yeah, it fell quite a bit after hours. That's like the simplest way to put it. It fell quite a bit after hours with the offering. There was no way for me to predict that. I think it closed above like 2 cents above the stop loss I placed, which was $1.99. There's a very, very high likelihood that pre-market or just at open tomorrow, at some point tomorrow, it's going to touch $1.99 because it's only 2 cents away. So it's just your opinion. However, if you want to continue holding it, if you want to stay in the trade, that's always your choice. If you want to take your loss, it's always your choice. But if it does hit the stop, I'm going to have to write down on the sheet that it got stopped out, because the sheet is just literally whatever happens, I put on the sheet. But of course, there's always room for your own interpretation. It's never financial advice, but technicals look good. You just had an offering and there was no way for me to know about it. So we'll see what happens tomorrow with SNDL. And Bitcoin is back under $50,000. Had a little move over. Now it's pretty much right under. I'll just set an alert on Bitcoin, alright? You don't have to stare at this the whole entire stream, but if it ever does create a new high, I'm going to have an alert and we'll be able to know. And then GNOG, I believe. Yeah, so this is a golden nugget. This one was down like 2%. Since the entry, it's like pretty much at the entry still. It's literally down like 10-15 cents since the entry, so it's pretty much at entry. You still have the local divergence. You're still above 1750. Not much has changed on this chart. Honestly, same thesis. And then this is DD. Hidden bullish divergence on the daily. This one's pretty much, I think this one's like 1% down since the entry. Then classic bullish divergence on the 4 hour. You just want to hold above 71. You pretty much close right at it. You just want to get above and hold above 71 on DD. QS had to move after hours. On this one, your support's pretty much $50. You want to close every single daily candle above $50 on QS. That's what you're looking for. You still have the hidden bullish divergence on the daily. The trade is still in profit. Let me turn on after hours. I don't even know if it's going to work right now. It's not. But after hours, I believe, closed about like 52 or pretty much around here. So the trade's up like 10% plus still. And at one point, it was at 56.50. So the trade was up 19% at one point earlier when I said on Twitter and in the Discord that it's a 50-50 with earnings. But yeah, I believe somebody has let us know that, I forgot who it was that said it, but what's it called? The CEO of QS is going to be on CNBC or something like that tomorrow, so we'll see what happens there. And yeah, just earnings 50-50 always. I've literally warned about for the last 3 days that earnings were today after market on QS. Even had a very nice 10% move after hours before the earnings call, and then just pulled back after. USR, pretty similar ticker. You have the double bottom. Literally, this one's still at the entry. It fell a little bit under, but then it got right back to the entry. You have a double bottom. classic bullish divergence on the daily MACD, on the RSI, and then on the 4-hour MACD and the 4-hour RSI. So you have classic bullish divergence on every single time frame. Class B, classic bullish divergence, I believe, where you have the same low on price and then a higher low on your MACD. I always get confused with Class B and Class C, so it's one of the two, but you get the point. Not as strong as Class A, but it is a form of divergence. And then X, we kind of talked about earlier. Huge move today. Remember, this is the third trade that I've put out on X. The first one was 20% profit. The target got hit. The second one was a 4% loss. It got stopped out because it had an offering hours after I put out the trade. My luck with offerings literally sucks, okay? First X like 2 weeks ago, and then SNDL today. You got to be joking me. It's just so frustrating. And the technicals are set up, and it's just like any other trade, but then literally the same day I put it out of all days, the company decides to put out an offering. It's very bad luck, but this time around, X was showing the hidden bullish divergence on the 4-hour and on the daily, and it broke the resistance. I literally said in the morning, even if you didn't get into this trade last week, this morning in the Discord, I said that X broke out. So that was alerted to the Discord right in the morning. That was one of the first things I alerted in the trade updates channel. It broke out. And what happens when you have a breakout of a supply line? Sometimes you can get a very nice move, such as a 12% candle. This was the biggest winner today. Great job, X. Pretty much approaching the target areas, but you're not even, like, this could really, if it breaks 20 bucks, I think it's going to go to 22. So with that daily hidden bullish divergence, which isn't even technically confirmed yet, we'll see what happens with X, but it really could go either way for the short term because you just did have a 12% day, but the macro still looks pretty nice on X. Bed Bath & Beyond, this one was actually down quite a bit. It was down like 3% at one point today, but then I believe it had a pretty good power hour and it ended up closing at the entry. So at the low of today, this trade was down 4% and it moved up 4% pretty much, I believe, in like the last hour of the day. Yeah, it had a very, very nice close. And then it came back to the entry, so great. 4-hour hidden bullish divergence. It's a little bit weird, but it's still kind of there, as long as you stay green on the MACD. And then daily hidden bullish divergence developing. As long as you're above 26 bucks on BBBY, you're good. And I know there's a lot of trades, so that's why I said like the majority of this stream is going to be me covering the trades because I need to be doing that, I guess. Nokia still has a daily hidden bullish divergence. The trade is down, let's see. Trade's down 1%. So it's literally down 1%. Really hasn't done much since I posted it. It's just been going sideways. But your MACD is pretty close to crossing over on the 4-hour. So we'll see what happens. You're pretty much just in between the 200-day moving average and the 410 support. DGLY is also trying to hold the 200-day moving average, or not also, but it is trying to hold the 200-day moving average. Kind of the opposite of Nokia. On Nokia, the 200-day is your resistance. On DGLY, it's your support. As long as you're over 245 on DGLY, you're fine. But you did lose the divergence, which I talked about last week. So that was very, very clear. You did lose this divergence. So it's just kind of hanging on by a thread right here. Beyond this one too, the market pullback really screwed with the trades. This one at one point today was up 8%, and then when you had the market pullback, it's only up 2% now, so huge fall on Beyond. XL, at one point this trade was up like 15% or something. Now this trade is only up 4%. Boeing, this one actually had a good day. It was up 3% today. A nice move on Boeing. I think it's up 4% since the entry. So finally Boeing showing some life. As long as Boeing is above $213, it's a-okay. So that was a recap of all of the trades. As I said before, this was like really the first day I can remember in 15 weeks of trades that most of the trades were down. Literally there were days where the market dumped and the trades were still net positive at the end of the day. But today it was just a case of you had that same exact morning flash crash that you've had for the past 4 days in the market. And then the trades just really didn't have a good job recovering. A couple of them did, like Bed Bath & Beyond had a nice recovery. But, you know, and again, even before the market really fell with the flash crash in the morning, I warned about the S&P 500 on Twitter and in the announcements channel of the Discord. I also warned about it. So like literally 10 minutes before the market really fell 1/3%, I warned about it. It was just starting to fall when I put out the warning. So remember, if you're not on the Discord and you want those alerts, join the Discord. The link's in the description. But with all that being said, we've covered so much from the market. Remember, with all these trades, always keep the macro in mind, right? The reason most of these trades had a not great day, they didn't like dump or anything except for SNDL, but it's because the macro market. You have to always, as a trader, be aware of what the macro market looks like. And today, macro market, this wasn't what you were looking for. And again, like I showed in the beginning of the stream, you're at the top of the flag again and you have bearish divergence. I really hope for once that the technicals are wrong for the sake of most of the people in here. But I have a duty to just convey the technicals to you. And from what I've learned as a trader, they're bearish on the S&P again. In the last 4 times I said that, it did play out. So I'm hoping maybe on the 5th time it doesn't play out. But we shall see. Just react. And I said I was going to talk a little bit about psychology in the title of the stream, how to recover from a bad day. Now I'm going to give you the most complex answer ever of how many things you need to be doing to recover. You need to do so many things. I'm joking. When you have a bad day, you just have a bad day. Your thesis doesn't have to change. Just because the price goes down does not mean you're wrong, okay? So just because you have a bad day does not mean you're a bad trader. It doesn't mean that it's all over. It just means sometimes there's just going to be some crap you have to deal with, like an offering on a stock that you could have never predicted, like the market having a flash crash in the morning that was warned about. There's just a lot of outside variables that come in sometimes, or sometimes you're just simply not wrong, but what you thought about playing out just didn't happen. There's no right and wrong in trading. There's a trade playing out and a trade not playing out. So I've talked about this since day one, and it's just something I learned from Mitch Ray. Like, as a trader, you need to stop expecting. All these new traders, all they do is expect. They either think 100% that something is going to happen, like the price is going to triple in a month, or they think that it's gambling and that you just need to be throwing your money wherever you want and you're going to come out with a return. No, as a trader, the number one thing you have to be doing is reacting. Just because a trade had a bad day did not mean that you broke support. It doesn't mean that there's bearish divergence. A lot of these trades still have their bullish divergence. They just pulled back 1 or 2% today. So I know I'm kind of like really emphasizing it was a red day today, but most of the trades truthfully are down. Like the trades that are down, they're like down like 2%. So if you compare being down 2% to all the profit we have made in the last, 15 weeks, look at this. You're going to be comparing being down 2% compared to literally all of these from last week. What I'm saying? I can just go through every single one of the weeks. But remember, you can't always win. There's weeks where it just seems extremely easy to make money. Pretty much the last 15 weeks. At some point, there's going to be a week. It's just probability. There's just going to be a week where the odds might not be in your favor, or simply a day when the odds are not in your favor, which was today. Right? There's literally been weeks that are just like straight up money. I think there was even a week where there was like, let's see if I can find it, where there's only like 1 loss. And regardless, you get the point. When you have these types of trades playing out for 15 weeks in a row, sometimes this is going to happen where you have a few trades that are down, not like a crazy amount, but they're just down. Now these trades can easily go back up. For example, US was literally down 7% or 6% the day after I put it out. And what happened today? At one point, QS was up 19%. So you're not wrong if you enter a trade and you're down. That does not mean you're wrong. It does not mean it's over. It just means that the timing's not in your favor and that you either have to be patient or you have to realize your loss and go find another opportunity. So, what you don't want to be doing when you're having one red day is literally freaking out and thinking, oh my gosh, I need to recover that money. I need to recover that money by tomorrow. Otherwise, I'm screwed. No, the market's going to be open every single week for all of eternity, I guess, hopefully. But market's always going to be open. It's not going anywhere. So give yourself some time. One bad day is always going to come around. And I know there's a lot of people in here that had a good day today. If you were only in X, you had a great day today. If you were in TNK, you had a great day today. If you were in Fisker, you had a decent day today. So a lot of people, most people, not even myself, are on every single one of these trades. It's just hard to have the capital to be in 18 trades at the same time. That doesn't really make sense, but that's why I put out a lot of trades. So people can pick and choose what they like the best, what fits their trading style. just give more options to everybody. But I just really want to place emphasis on like the psychology of having a bad day. It just is what it is. It is not you being a bad trader. It's not you going bankrupt. It's just you being down however many percent, having to be patient, or you having to accept a loss. It all depends on your risk tolerance. Depends on a whole entire variety of things. But Trader Freeze literally said in the chat right there, mental discipline and patience. Yeah. Hope that was helpful for like the newer traders. This was my first like I'm not gonna say the percent I was down today. It's not the end of the world, but this was my worst day in probably 2021. Just because I had a lot of options in a few of these trades. But it is what it is. Maybe I make it back tomorrow. Maybe I don't. Maybe it takes me a week to make it back. Maybe it takes me 3 days. Maybe it takes me a month. Whatever it is, it is. You need to be patient as a trader. Don't literally gamble your whole entire account tomorrow trying to make so much back in one day. Be patient and always remember 15 weeks cannot be outweighed by one day. And if it is, then you need to learn how to manage your risk. And there's a video of that on my channel. It's all a game of probability. What you want to be doing is making a lot of money on your winning days and losing very little on your losing days, right? Risk to reward. That's why every single one of the trades is at minimum a 3 reward to risk. Okay, 3 reward to risk. 3 reward to risk, right? So you always want to be in a scenario where you can potentially gain 3 times more than you're risking on a trade. Do that time and time and time again, and you're a profitable trader. Hopefully, you know what you're doing. But yeah, we're looking for the bounce back tomorrow. You might not get one. You're looking for the bounce back this week. I'm assuming you'll be fine, but just remember the market. It would definitely help if the market looked bullish, but the technicals on the market are not great. So personally, I'm just gonna like disclose like how I'm playing things. I still have quite a few. I have quite a lot of options in many of these trades. Tomorrow's a very big day for me, and what I mean by that is if you get bad opens on some of these trades and they break supports, I'm just gonna be going to cash for some time and just waiting for new opportunities to arise. Because I've already made a very, very nice amount of profit in pretty much the past, well, ever since I started trading to now, but also especially in the past month. It's just been unreal with all these trades. And if you've been around for the last month, you know what I'm talking about. So if you have to take a week off from trading, sure, go for it. I just don't want to have my ego lose me money, and you should be in the same way. I've had days where my ego lost me a lot of money. So I'm learning from that. It's about being better. It's about learning from mess ups, profiting as much as you can on your wins. Just curious why you only put out trades that will result to a swing to the upside. I'm just not really a short trader. It really is just preference. You know, the market, typically the market goes up. That's pretty much all it's done since the stock market was created. Yes, there are times when you have a bear market. There's literally been market crashes. There was one last year in March. But until you have a bear market, you know, they always say the trend is your friend. So I don't like trading against the market trend, even though now, you know, the short term looks a little bit bearish on the technicals, but we'll see if it confirms tomorrow or the day after or not. But it's just not how I trade. So typically I just put out trades based on how I trade, because I don't want to, I don't want to be putting out trades that are not even my style of trading, right? I'm best at how I trade. So I don't want to be putting out a scalp trade when I literally never scalp, right? Always how I classify myself as a trader is I'm like a reversal swing trader. So primarily most of the trades are reversal swing trades. There are some continuation trades. There are some short-term trades. There are some long-term trades. Like for example, this Fisker trade is a long-term trade. And then the S&D L trade was a short-term trade. But most of the trades are mid-terms, just how I prefer to trade. Usually, you know, what I've done is if the market looks bearish, I just go cash and I just wait. And if the market's looking fine, then I'm going to be going long for swings. That's how I trade. I do day trade. I was day trading today for a little bit. I day traded QS a couple times earlier today. And yeah, I still have the Fisker long-term investment. That's really my only long-term investment. I had a couple more, but I kind of took out the money from those long terms and just put it all in the Fisker a few weeks ago when it was at 14.55. But yeah, you can do. I'm not saying you can't short. Everybody can do whatever they want. I've shorted a couple times, really not that much. If you want to get puts, if you want to, what I don't really do is I don't technically get puts and I don't short. A lot of the times what I do if I'm bearish is I just get the UVXY, which is like the ETF or the volatility index. But sometimes, like I did this a couple weeks ago, I remember the day I did it on, right over here, I had some SPY puts. So I have done it a couple times. I made some good money on these puts right here. And I had calls on this move up. That week, I was literally trading the SPY so much. It was awesome. I remember that week. It was just so easy to tell what was going to happen, or use probability. Yeah, that's like the recap of everything. I really tried my best to go with it. Wait, what? I don't know if that is Jeff, or if you're not Jeff, because your name says Charles. But if you're in here, Jeffrey, how you doing? We were just talking. Literally, you sent me a Snapchat, what, today or yesterday? So shout out to Jeffrey Schroeder, my homie from Miami. Hope you're doing well. How much I lose today? I don't really talk. I never bring up how much I make or how much I lose on the stream. It's just kind of private. But not that badly. I did lose some. Today was, again, I said it a little while ago, but today was my first day that I've pretty much lost like this in the whole entire year. So like 99% of days in the past 2 months, I made very nice profits. And then today was just that 1% where just things didn't go my way. But I'm still very optimistic on a lot of these trades. It's not the end of the world. Things are still fine. And yeah, that's like the coverage from today. Hopefully that helped with all the trades, my thoughts on the market and everything like that. Who is this? Are you like Jeffrey Spen or something? Is your Ferrari poster still upside down? Is right? I don't know if you can see it, but like, right here. I don't think it's upside down. I hope it's not. I remember that. And yeah, that's like the recap of everything from today. Now, if you want to request a ticker, we can do. I'm not going to spend that much time doing ticker requests tonight, just because I'm kind of tired and that was quite a bit going through all the trades. But we'll do some. We'll do it for like 20-25 minutes or something. Really, I'm not going to be able to get to every single ticker, but if you want to request a ticker and you really want me to look at it, the two best ways for that to occur for me to look at your ticker is either give me an explanation of why you want me to look at it, such as the chart looks good, there's some sort of catalyst, something that I can actually use as information, or you can just send me a tip, any tip $3 or higher, and I'll take a look at your ticker right away. But yeah, if you really want me to look at something, if you just type in a ticker that's up 50%, I'm not gonna really analyze it because I can't, right? I need something that's being consistent. I need something with divergence, a pattern. If you're just giving me something that's literally a pump and dump, I can't really help you. That's just not how I trade. If you want me to take a look at something, drop the ticker and give me an explanation of why you want me to look at it. I guess look at a few. Like if there's names I already know, I can take a look at it. But yeah, Apple, I'm actually interested to see what Apple did today. I had Apple calls that I got pretty much around close on Friday, but I sold them this morning. Type that in wrong. I sold the calls this morning, like pretty much right at open, just because I don't even remember why I sold them. I just did. I don't know. It was like kind of breaking a support, because I was looking at it kind of like this, I believe. I was looking at it like this, right? Let me delete this second line. But I was looking at the support on Apple kind of like this green line right here. And then as soon as I saw that it was breaking it right here, I just kind of sold my calls. Never really recovered. Apple was looking all right, but now it's just you're under 133.70 again, and that was your support. So you did break support on Apple. Want to get back above 133. J Mensa, appreciate the $5 donation. Yeah, I can take a look at RMO for you for sure. Apple, you want to get back above 134 or take caution. Romeo, this was a failed trade. This was like, I think the only failed trade from last week. Why is my audio not working? My music. Let's take a look real quick. Yeah, Armo was literally the only failed trade from last week. Like, look at all of these trades. The only one that was failed was Armo. It definitely did suck, but that's just how it goes sometimes. We can take a look at it now, though. Let me just delete this real quick. And the trade was actually up like 14% or something at one point, and then it just dumped. But it broke support. It was alerted in the Discord when it did break that support. After breaching the support, what is it looking like right now? From your previous swing low to your swing high, you're at an 88.6% retrace. It's not really a Fibonacci level that most people use, but it does work out quite decently. And I mean, in terms of a support, I think your next support is $15.26. Because if we look back right over here, we zoom in, kind of like this right here, $15.24. It was your low right here, your low right here, and your low right here, pretty much at the end of November, beginning of December. So yeah, $15.24 is your key level. You want to stay above that. Don't have any divergence on the 4-hour or the daily. Take a look at the 1 hour. Is there anything? Not really. Your MACD is waning, but it's not like textbook divergence. So I'm not too sure. As long as you're above 15.24, you should be fine, but it's not like a major edge. I kind of see like a 50-50 just because you don't really have a pattern or any divergence or like an important candle. Just verify that. Yeah, you didn't. Technically, you had a bearish engulfing candle today, where this candle engulfed the previous candle's body, and it was a red candle. So, and you gap down to 50-50 here on Armo. I appreciate the 5, but I'm just being straightforward. I could see this going either way. It's already been dropping a lot, so could it just randomly bounce one day? Yes, but I don't really see like a major probability for either side. That is Armo. Lot's holding a support. We can take a look at that. Lot's had a good day today, I believe. Yeah, it was up 6%. I don't really think there was any technicals that indicated this, except for this kind of. I think somebody actually shared this in the Discord. The Lots was like kind of in this downtrend, just in like a channel, and then it kind of broke out on February 11th, last week. So yeah, it broke the downtrend. Instead of just dropping down nonstop, it just started going sideways. It means it broke that downtrend, and you ended up pushing over the VWAP. You got some demand today, and it had a very nice move. I'm hoping for something like this on UWMC. That would definitely recover my loss if UWMC went up like, because I have quite a bit in UWMC and Clover right now. So if either of those had a 5+% day tomorrow, I'm probably gonna recover my loss from today. But we'll see. Yeah, this one just broke out this downtrend. You don't have any divergence because you did not make a higher low, you made a lower low. So your support kind of looks like 907-ish, pretty much just $9. And then resistance $10. So you're kind of in the middle of a channel right now, but your MACD is going up. Go back up, Fubo. I think Fubo, did it go up after hours? Find out. Yeah, it went up 5% after hours. It's at 45.40, so it's like right there. So nice move after hours. Really don't know here. Let me just clear up the chart. So it's like right there. I think your support on Fubo is 42.86 because that was your candle low right here, and right here, 3 different times. And resistance is kind of hard to chart it exactly, but it's just something like that. I don't know, I just don't feel like Fubo is a technical play right now. I feel like Fubo is just more of like a short squeeze hype play at the moment. It's just like technically, it's just not, I don't think it's moving because of technicals right now, if I'm being honest. Sure, it could be a bull flag, whatever, but I would just go with support and resistance. Let me go back to the 4-hour. I'm just gonna go with like horizontal areas. I'd say your resistance is $52 and your support is 42. So you are at the bottom of a potential channel. It's not really created though. WSO. And again, I'm not really going to be doing ticket requests for too long tonight. I'm pretty tired. Want to reset for tomorrow, but I'll try and get a few done. And again, if you're requesting something that's a straight line up, I literally said it before I started doing the, what's it called? The request. I'm not going to be able to analyze it, right? It's not how I trade. I need a pattern, I need divergence, stuff like that. So ITRM, you're trying to hold this previous candle high as a support. You're in a make or break area. If you go much lower, if you go even a little bit lower, take caution. Otherwise, this could be a potential bounce area. Just based on this candle high, it's not that high of a probability. I'm just bringing it up because I see it. Unity support is 123. That's the support you've been creating. I like how your MACD is going up as your price is going sideways. That's like, I believe, class B. Local divergence. It's not like textbook at all, but you're going sideways and your MACD is going up. As long as you're above 123 on Unity, you're good. That's like very easy to manage your risk. You can just place your stop loss a couple percent under. 123.77 is your level to look at and hold. Solo is in the middle of a range. I could see this one going either way for the short term. You're halfway between your support and your resistance. So if you flip a coin, that could be your answer or not. It's a 50-50. That's what Mitch Ray says. But Carnival Cruises had a very nice move. If you were here like thinking like January, I was saying my biggest long-term sector that I liked was travel, because I mean there's a whole entire video on my channel. You go to my channel, then you go to playlists, and then you go to videos. There's literally like a video of me talking about the travel sector and why I was bullish on it a few weeks ago. And I think, was it Royal Caribbean? Didn't one of the cruise lines beat earnings today? I think it was Royal Caribbean. They beat earnings. So you had Royal Caribbean go up, you had Carnival Cruises go up, and then what was it, NCLH? Let's go, Norwegian Cruises went up. This is literally a long-term trade. There's literally a trade out on Norwegian Cruises that I put out like 3 weeks ago as a long-term trade, and this one was up 7% today. I don't really put it on the weekly sheets because it's been ongoing for like a month now. But very nice move on all the cruises today with, I believe it was RCL leading the wave with beating earnings. But you asked about Carnival Cruises, I believe. Yeah. Your resistance is pretty much like 24.33 and your support is 21.71. There was obviously a much better time to be entering. A lot of these travel stocks were showing bull flags. As soon as you broke 21.71, you pretty much went up another dollar. That was your resistance. This does look like an inverse head and shoulders. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder, and then your neckline was 21.71. Just textbook. Let's just textbook target this. Okay, it would be a 20% move from the the head to the neckline. Place that on top of your breakout. Measured move would be 25 bucks. Oh my gosh. Measured move of this pattern literally lines up with the high from last summer. That's pretty crazy. I know it's like super technical analysis, like nerdy, but this is what I do. Okay, give me a break. That's like literally perfect measured move lining up with the resistance. That could be a target if you're in this for a swing or whatever. So yeah, if it backtests 21.71, that could also be an entry. Just don't really have divergence. Then let me figure those out. MYGN. This one's just going crazy. Support is like 27.55 and then resistance is like 35.19. I think you said there was like a 1 hour inverse head and shoulder or something. Kind of, yes, but like it's kind of hard to tell what the neckline is. I see the inverse head and shoulders, but like how would you chart your neckline? Would you chart it like that? Then you really have to move to break the neckline. You could also just, you know, chart it like that. There's like a lot of different ways. Like it's kind of hard to tell when it breaks out, but I do see the pattern kind of. But yeah, just looking at the daily, support 27.55, resistance 35.19, just based on historical price data and IDEX. It's been going wild. Looks like it broke a demand line. Looked like you had a demand line that kind of like that, and you broke under it today. Yeah, I have no clue. You could create hidden bullish divergence eventually, but it's way too early to tell. I can see them going either way. It said MACD on the daily. Yeah, yeah, I see it, the local divergence. I was talking about it earlier where you're going sideways, but MACD's going up. I did like that. But you need Unity, you just need to hold 120, 377 and you're good. But yeah, like I said before, I don't really want to spend too much time on ticket requests. Just getting a few done for those of you who asked. Hopefully I got a good amount, but yeah, I'm gonna go sleep a little bit early tonight. Thank you for all the support. Hoping for a better day tomorrow. Just manage your risk. Just some days are like today, it's all good. If you had a red day like me, because the last 90 days were primarily green days. But yeah, hope you have a great night. Trade safely tomorrow. Thank you for coming out to the stream. Hit that like button on your way out if you haven't already. Have a great night. Peace out.